Hello, this is Mr. Chabry92 bringing you another narrated Pokemon battle. So this is a battle spot battle. I'm going to lead off with my Beedrill as my opponent leads off with his Furret. So now Furret's going to have the Frisk. That's basically just going to tell him that my Beedrill has the Mega Stone. I'm going to Mega Evolve my Beedrill into Mega Beedrill. Mega Beedrill has sky high attack and sky high speed, but I'm going to protect the first turn since it's still running under normal Beedrill speed. And he's going to go for a Hone Claws, so that's going to raise his accuracy and his attack. And here you're going to see the Furret get burnt by its own Flame Orb. So I'm pretty sure this Furret's packing Facade. So I'm just going to U-turn out of there, and that almost takes out the Furret. My Mega Beedrill almost takes out that Furret. That would have been so nice. But now I'm going to send in my Rotom to take this Facade that I know is coming. And that's going to do quite a bit. With that Hone Claws and that Burn that's boosting its Facade, that's going to do like over half. But now his Furret goes down to its own Burn, so that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, Rotom took a lot of damage. He sends out his Scizor now, and here I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp as he double switches his Scizor and goes into his Nidoking. I guess expecting the electric move, but I wanted to get the burn on the Scizor, but I'll take the burn on the Nidoking. And this burn's going to come in handy later on, as you'll soon see. I'm going to get the leftover recovery as he takes some damage from his burn. So here the Nidoking's going to go for Sludge Wave. That's going to be enough to take out my Rotom. So Rotom didn't really do that much. He was able to burn the Nidoking, and that was about it. So now Nidoking takes some more damage, and it's time to send in my Typhlosion. Hey everybody, it's Typhlosion time. He's going to switch out his Nidoking and switch back into his Scizor. The Scizor is not going to take this Flamethrower well at all. This Flamethrower is going to decimate the Scizor because it is so weak to fire moves. So down goes the Scizor. And now he's going to go back into his Nidoking. And I'm going to just continue with the Flamethrower onto this Nidoking. And that's going to take it down into the red. And now his Nidoking is going to get to fire off an Earth Power, and it gets the critical hit. So I don't know if the critical hit mattered there, but down goes my Typhlosion. But the Nidoking goes down to the burn. And I still have that Beedrill in the back. So this is a victory for us. And now we're going to go into the next battle. So here I'm going to lead off with my Beedrill again, as my opponent leads off with his Greninja. And I know Greninjas have really high speed, so I'm going to Mega Evolve my Beedrill. And I'm going to just go for the Protect the first turn, so I could scout out what move his Greninja wants to go with, and I can get the speed boosted up to Mega Beedrill speed for the next turn. So the Greninja is going to go for a Blizzard and become an Ice type because of its Protean. And I'm just going to go for the U-turn to get as much damage as I can, and that does a lot of damage. And I'm going to go into Rotom because Rotom's probably the best thing I've got to take a Blizzard. So I'm just going to send in my Rotom, and that does barely anything. And Rotom also gets some leftover recovery. So now with my Rotom, I'm going to take a Grass Knot from this Greninja, so the Protean turns it into a Grass type. That still barely does that much. I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch, and that's going to be enough to take out the Greninja. So down goes the Greninja, and I get to switch out my Rotom since I went for the Volt Switch. And I'm going to send in my Beedrill again because it's a pretty good play, I think. But he sends in a Talonflame. So no, there's not much Beedrill can do to a Talonflame, so I have to switch, or else Beedrill's going down to a Brave Bird. So I switch back into Rotom to take this Brave Bird, and Talonflame fires it off, and it doesn't do much because Rotom can take Brave Bird for days. Now I get some leftover recovery, and Rotom is ready to fire back. He's going to switch out his Talonflame. He's going to switch into his Venusaur, and Venusaur is a good switch in for my Rotom because Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump's not going to do much to a Venusaur. So there's not really much my Rotom can do here to this Venusaur. Now I get some leftover recovery, and he's going to Mega Evolve his Venusaur now. So now he's got his Mega Venusaur on the field, and he's going to go for the Petal Blizzard. And I'm going to let my Rotom go down, but Rotom survives it. And I'm just going to Volt Switch. So that was really good, Rotom. You survived a Petal Blizzard to the face. And Rotom gets to fire off his own Volt Switch. And I'm going into my Typhlosion. And you know what time it is. So I use the Eruption! And this Eruption is going to be enough to take out the Venusaur. So now down goes the Venusaur. And Typhlosion's looking pretty good. But he sends out his Talonflame. And I know that my Rotom's not going to be able to survive another Brave Bird. And Beedrill is probably not going to survive one Brave Bird. So I have to let Typhlosion take that. And Typhlosion is locked into Eruption with that Choice Scarf he's holding. So I know Typhlosion did his part, taking care of that Mega Venusaur. That was a good job, Typhlosion. Now Typhlosion's going to go down and take one for the team. So down goes my Typhlosion. And now he's going to get damaged by recoil too. I'm going to send in my Beedrill. And now he's going to go for a Roost instead of a Brave Bird. If I was him, I would say Brave Bird would have been the best thing. He's probably not wanting to take the recoil. He probably thought I would just go for Protect, but I didn't really have a reason to go for Protect. So I just went for the Poison Jab, and that's enough to take out the Talonflame, and that is the battle. So if you liked this battle, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next battle video.